My brother hid 7 plates of moldy food under his bed and let me discover the stench alone. Then, when I showed Mom the photos, he laughed and said, "You take cleanliness too seriously." I walked away. That was 8 months ago. This morning, he posted his new work badge online, begging for everyone's praise. My entire bloodline is filled with deadbeat men. I was 13 when I asked my mom why my 26-year-old brother Trent was still living at home, unemployed, with no girlfriend. She just sighed. "You better get used to it, because soon you'll be the one providing for him." I laughed. There was no way. I was going to move across the country the first chance I got, because my dad was somehow even worse than my brother. He had an income, but it was from reselling stolen goods in bulk. We basically had no relationship, so I'm not even sure if that's correct. I just remember being in senior year when I hadn't seen my dad for 2 weeks straight. It wasn't the most absurd thing in the world, but still enough for me to ask my mom where he was. She looked down at the ground. "He's arrested," she said with a whisper. I always felt bad for her. She was the only one in the family who actually worked and tried to be a good parent, so I gave her a hug and promised she wasn't alone in this. And I meant it. I got a job in the local Popeyes for 10 hours a week. I knew it meant my grades would inevitably take a hit, but at the time, I figured it was worth it, because at least this way my mom wouldn't have to worry about putting money into my dad's commissary. And even when I graduated with a 4.0 GPA, I declined all of the college acceptances, because I didn't want my mom to waste her life carrying the weight of the family alone. I took up 40 hours a week at Popeyes, as well as a freelance modeling job which paid around $1,000 a month, but only $200 was actually going into my pocket each month, because by this point, me and my mom were practically parenting 32-year-old Trent, who still hadn't figured it out, and I had become a walking credit card to my dad, who was always trading commissary items for favors from the inmates. And to top it all off, I was helping my mom pay off her heavily indebted credit card bill from when she was the sole earner of the house. I still remember my 19th birthday. I found myself blowing out the candles, wishing for a future. And that evening I reflected. I had gone from having a guaranteed place at Rutgers to being a parent of 2 deadbeat man babies. Anger boiled my blood. I thought about all the dinners my mom insisted on not eating to save money, how she could never say no to Trent and his impossible financial requests, how my dad had stranded her by being an R-word. I clenched my fists so hard my knuckles went white and stormed into my mother's room. I told her I'd keep providing for her and Dad, but Trent had to go. I didn't care where or how. I thought smoke was about to come out of her ears. "How dare you talk about your brother like that? He just needs some time." "Mom, are you serious?" I interrupted. "Look at him. He's a 300-pound spectacle. Mom, he couldn't even finish high school. He's never had a job before. He's taking advantage of you." She slapped me across the face, but her eyes were filled with regret and pain, not anger. I knew I had struck a chord. She told me to get out, because she didn't want to live with someone as cruel as me. I didn't argue, didn't shout back, didn't even pack up my stuff, just left. And as I sat in the car, the temples of my head began to throb. Something about seeing the regret in my mom's eyes gave me flashbacks. Suddenly, I was 15 again, giving my mom a pill for heartburn after she found out that Dad was not only cheating on her, but cheating on her with paid escorts, spending money that we didn't have. Then my mind jumped to when I was 17, and it was Trent's 30th birthday. To celebrate, he did a 24-hour video game marathon, meaning he spent all day